Hi there, I'm Sandra. Welcome to class. Today I have a class designed to relieve tension in the hip flexors and the low back. If you like the class, please remember to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and subscribe to the channel for more. Go ahead and grab a mat, grab a cushion or bolster, and when you're ready, I'll meet you right back here. Today we'll begin laying on the back. I'm going to place my cushion in the center of my mat and then sit on it, plant my feet firmly onto the earth, and slowly walk myself back until I can lay down comfortably. Now, I'm going to make sure that my butt is planted firmly onto my cushion, so go ahead and make any adjustments you need. And now, go ahead and lengthen the left leg and the right. Notice how it feels. This might already be a big stretch for you in your hip flexors. If it feels unsafe or extremely uncomfortable to the point where you feel like it might not be beneficial for you, go ahead and keep the legs bent. Otherwise, keep the legs lengthened. Place the palms directly over the hip flexors. Close the eyes. And let's take a moment to drop into this moment, to settle onto the mat, settle into your body. Notice the breath, how it's entering and leaving the body. Where is it moving you? Is it reaching to the belly? Is it only moving the chest? Take a moment to check in with the mind. Notice what thoughts are going through your mind today. Now, bring the attention back to the breath and begin to use the breath as a tool. With the inhale, allow the air to draw more deeply into the body. Allow it to move your belly, your ribs, your chest, your heart. As you draw air in, allow it to make you heavy, to help you sink onto your mat and settle into this moment. As you exhale, allow that air to take anything with it that isn't serving you in this moment. Maybe it's tension, maybe it's a thought that doesn't want to be released. Let it flow out of you as you settle into your body, into your breath. Feel the warmth of your hands on the hip flexors, on the hips. Use the breath and the warmth in your hands to send energy, to send release into this area of your body. With the next inhale, draw the right knee in towards the chest. Clasp either the thigh or the knee in towards the chest. We'll begin to compress deeply into the right hip flexor while keeping the left extended and the heel heavy towards the earth. Your heel may not touch the ground, that's okay. Shift the knee towards the outside, towards the inside. Play around with the heel, the right heel, maybe drawing it in or out. Notice what feels good for you, what sticky spots you may have. And then when you find one of those sticky spots, breathe into it. We're going to be here for a little over a minute. So really settle into this position, settle into the moment. Inhale to fill the belly, allow the belly to press into the thigh and massage the hip as it rises. Allow the ribs to expand, allow the heart to rise. Exhale, release. Let any tension that you're feeling that stickiness. Allow it to flow out of your body with the exhales. Bring the knee in closer towards the heart or towards the chest with each breath. Let this be a moment of renewal, of deep awareness. Use the breath to send energy where you feel stuck, where you feel tightness, where you feel tension. And use the breath to draw it out and release it. Drop deeply into your body, deeply into sensation. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Big inhales. Deep, soothing exhales. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. With the next breath, go ahead and release the right foot. Maybe allow the sole of the foot to come towards the earth, and then slowly slide the leg straight. Take a moment here. Notice the difference between the right and left sides of the body. Big inhale, deep exhale. With the next breath, press right heel towards the earth. Bring left knee towards chest. Clasp either the knee or the thigh. And begin to draw the knee further towards the chest. Allow yourself to explore a little bit of movement here. Notice what feels good. Notice where your body wants to settle. Find that sticky spot, that moment between tension and release, comfort and discomfort, and sink into it. Fill the belly with air, allow it to massage the hip flexor. Expand the ribs, fill the heart. Exhale to release. Allow the exhale to draw out the tension, the tightness. Inhale to send energy where it needs to go within the body. Draw the knee in a little further. Exhale, release. Continue to use the breath as a tool. Notice where energy needs to go. Where can you be a little softer? Drop into this moment. Drop into your body. Send sweetness and release where your body needs it. If the mind starts to wander, draw it back to focus on this moment. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Inhale to fill the belly. Expand the ribs, lift the chest, lift the heart. Exhale, release, sigh it out. Let everything that isn't serving you flow out. One more breath together. Fill in deeply. Send energy where it needs to go. Exhale to release. Sigh it out. With the next breath, release the leg. Allow it to come slowly to the earth. Lengthen as you need. Check in with the body. Notice what you're feeling. Now slowly bring the soles of the feet to the earth. Press weight into the shoulders and the feet to lift the hips up. Move your cushion or bolster out of the way and sink onto the earth. Draw knees to chest. Grab onto the back of the thighs and slowly roll forward and back to come through a seated position into a tabletop. We'll take a few cat-cows here to elongate and move into the spine, but really with the focus on the hip flexors and psoas and low back area. So draw your energy to that area. Tilt the tailbone up towards the sky. Allow the chest to sink and draw forward between the hands, crown of the head to the sky. Exhale to tuck the tailbone, draw belly button to spine, press the shoulders away from one another and hands firmly into the ground. Tuck the chin to the chest. Draw attention to the hips, to the flexors, to the low back. Notice what you feel as you flow through your cat-cows. Tailbone up, chest down and forward, crown of the head up. Tuck chin to chest, tuck tailbone, belly button to spine and to the sky. Take a few more breaths here to flow through movement. Notice what your body needs. With the next breath, come to center. Walk the fingertips forward a bit and tent them on the earth. Then bring the right knee forward. Allow the hips to sink down. Now, you can stay here if this is comfortable for you, or you can bring the right heel out towards the left hip bone. Make sure the hips are in line with one another, and then slowly sink the hips deeply towards the earth. Your hips may not reach the ground. If they don't, go ahead and use the cushion and bolster under the right hip to support yourself. And then we're slowly going to lift the chest, lift the crown of the head up towards the sky. Try to keep the shoulders stacked directly over the hips. This will help you open up into the hip flexor. Take a glance back at the left heel. Make sure it's pointed towards the sky and that the heel is shooting directly back behind you. It's not to the side. With the next inhale, press the right shin, sole of the foot, and thigh, left thigh into the ground as we lift. Imagine you have a string pulling you up towards the sky. With exhale, sink deeply into the ground. Press the hips down towards the earth. Inhale to lift. These are microscopic movements. Sink into your body. Notice sensation. Notice what you're feeling. Notice what you are experiencing. Continue to lift and lower with the breath. If you want to take it a little deeper, you're going to plant your right hand firmly in the center of the mat and begin to bend into the left knee. Reach the left hand behind you. Press hand to foot, foot to hand. Open up. Then slowly begin to bring the heel in towards the butt. This will give you a deep stretch into the hip flexor. Hold where you feel stickiness, where you feel tension. Breathe into the discomfort. Send the breath down into the belly. Allow it to massage those interior muscles that are so hard to reach. With the next exhale, we'll release, sink onto the right hip, swing the left leg forward, cross left knee or left foot in front of right knee, bring both sits bones to the earth, and we will hug the left knee in towards the chest. Rotate left hand back behind you, bring the gaze back. Long spine. Go ahead and close the eyes here for a moment. Again, here we're compressing the left hip flexor, finding openness in the right. Big breaths into the depths of your body. Focus on filling the belly, using that to massage your internal muscles. Exhale to release. We'll unwind, come back into our tabletop position. Flow through a few cat-cows to reset. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, lift the chest, crown of the head to sky. Exhale, belly button to spine, tuck the tailbone. Shoulders away from one another, chin to chest. Go ahead and flow at your own pace. Maybe you need to modify the movement or explore a movement of your own. Notice what feels good here. With the next breath, we'll meet in center. Walk the fingertips forward, tent them on the earth, and then draw the left knee forward as we sink the hips lower to the ground. Again, this may be comfortable for you. You can stay here. Otherwise, bring the left heel towards the right hip. Slowly sink the hips towards the earth. Keep the shoulders lifted. Find that sticky spot, that spot of tension. If you need a cushion under the left hip, go ahead and use that. Make sure hips are in line with one another. Bring the gaze back. Make sure that heel is pointing towards the sky. Sole of the foot is planted onto the earth firmly, and the foot is shooting straight back. It's not at an angle in either direction. Here, we won't sink into that left hip. We'll stay lifted over both hips. Now, with the inhale, press away from the earth. Press the left shin, the right leg into the earth. As you lift, imagine you have a string pulling you up towards the sky. Then exhale, make yourself heavy, sink deeply towards the earth. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. These are micro movements. Find any sticky spots. Notice what feels good. If you want to take it deeper, plant left hand firmly on the earth in front of you. Bring left heel, left foot up. Go ahead and grab the left foot with the right hand. Press foot to hand to foot. Then slowly begin to draw that left heel towards the butt. You'll feel a deep stretch in the left hip flexor. Big breaths. Keep the weight lifted. Sink into moments of tension. Use the belly breath as a tool. Exhale to release. Go ahead and sink onto the left heel, or left hip, and swing the right foot around. Bring the right foot to the outside of the left thigh. Now we will settle both sits bones onto the earth and hug the right knee into the chest. Go ahead and plant the right hand firmly behind you. Bring the gaze back. Big breaths into the hips, low back, belly. Use the belly to massage those internal muscles. Use the breath to bring energy into the body and release as you exhale. With the next breath, we'll release. Bend the knees, plant the feet firmly on the earth, slowly roll back. Bring the heels in towards the butt so you can graze the back of the heels with the fingertips. Plant the feet firmly on the earth and begin to press into the feet to lift the hips up towards the sky. Now imagine your feet are screws. Screw your heels towards one another, toes away from one another to really engage the outer edge of your legs and engage the glutes. Lift the hips as high as they'll go. Press the palms firmly into the earth. Big breaths. Find release in your front body. Find tension that you are intentionally creating in your back body to strengthen the back body, to strengthen the antagonist muscles that cause tension in the front body. Go ahead and close the eyes here. We'll hold for about a minute. Continue to screw your heels in towards one another, toes out. Breathe into sensation here. As you inhale, fill the belly with air. Exhale, belly button to spine. Lift the hips a little higher. Screw the heels in a little more deeply. Feel your glutes engage. 3 more breaths. Inhale, fill deeply. Exhale, release. Inhale, fill deeply. Exhale, release. Inhale, fill deeply. Screw the heels towards one another. Exhale, slowly sink the hips down towards the earth. Draw the knees in towards the chest. Rock side to side for a moment. Go ahead and release the legs towards the ground. Grab your cushion or bolster. We'll slide that underneath the shins, underneath the knees maybe, for a little bit of support. Place the hands over the hip flexors. Close the eyes. Notice how you're feeling in this moment. Give yourself a big thank you for dedicating this time to yourself. Feel free to stay here as long as you need. Thank you for sharing this practice with me. I hope to practice with you again soon. Namaste.